Hi, I'm Amy, and it is Women's History Month. I'm going to share a few pieces with you. The first one here is by a Norwegian composer, Agathe Backer Grøndahl. She's written over 400 piano pieces. Of course, this was a few hundred years ago. She was contemporaries with Edvard Grieg. She performed, had great reviews on her performances, and was a wonderful musician, composer, and pianist. I want her name to get out there. So the piece I'm sharing with you is called Song of Youth, and I'm going to play it for you. I love it. It's beautiful, and I don't think a man could have written it. That's my opinion. Just listen, you'll see what I mean. Isn't that special? It's got so much sweetness and softness and so much strength. You know, here we are, women. This is all about chord playing, you know, and you find this a lot in church hymns or folk songs where we have sort of basic chords, but there's a technique to playing that really beautifully, really polished. So I want to share that with you. We're in the key of F major. We're in the time signature 9/8. This is something that might be new to you. 9/8 is 9 beats per measure. The 8th note gets the beat. Now don't worry, we're not going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. 9 beats in every measure. We actually kind of reduce that to 3 big pulses per measure. So 3 times 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's the full measure. I'm hearing the top line as the melody. Let's just start with playing that. Did you catch that? So I'm starting on C. Kind of an interesting line there, isn't it? I'm in the key of F major, but this is reaching up to E. I think that's beautiful. So we're starting again, C and 2. E, D, C, long. B flat, watch out. Here's F, steps up. There was a B natural, watch out for that. Okay. Do you know about ties? On your music, a curved line that connects from one note to the same note is called a tie, and it means that you just keep holding that note. Don't replay it, you know, on the second part of the tie. As I add the other voices with that melody, I need to make sure that I'm still hearing the soprano line, the singing line, but it's supported with the other notes. So that top note is what I really want to hear carrying across. So I would definitely start by playing that line alone so that I know how it sounds. If you like, you might even sing it out loud. Then the other voices, try playing them quietly, you know. Drop into the key with just enough weight to get the tone there, but not to bring our attention to it. Here's an exercise that I sometimes use with students. Play the melody note first, and then add the other notes later. So I'm looking at the very first chord, F major chord, right? Melody, and then add. Do you hear that? And then I can do it a little quicker. I'm exaggerating, you know, loud, soft. That's part of this exercise. And even quicker, and then at the same time. Try that. That's the feeling of, you know, one part of your hand with more weight, more sound energy, and then the rest more thin, more light. Continuing on. There's that tie we talked about. I forgot to mention, even though I'm holding the tie, I have other moving notes. This may be a challenge. So we're in measure 4. I play 4 notes at the beginning. All right. Top note is C, bottom note is C. Those are both going to hold on, and the other notes, the inner voices, are moving. Okay, how'd you do? So I'm playing 4 together, holding my outer notes, and moving the inner notes. You might want to break that down and take a closer look. You might say, why can't you just use the pedal and hold that all through? I am pedaling in this, by the way, but I need to change the pedal here on beat 2 and on beat 3. And I have to have those outer C's staying through the pedal change. Okay, so it is a little complicated. I have to hold those notes with my fingers so that they don't get lost when I change the pedal. Let's talk about pedaling. Each beat is where I'm changing the pedal, those big beats that I mentioned. Pedal, 2, change, change, change. Okay, and remember a pedal change, the moment that I'm saying change is when my foot is coming up, not earlier than that. Measure 2, change. This is a great pedal exercise, and I don't think you should, you could try to play it without pedal, but I don't think it's a good option. You know, I would definitely use the damper pedal to connect from chord to chord. And I would do the same thing if I was playing a hymn or folk song like I mentioned. So have that pedal ready to get in the mix. Looking at the second system, second phrase, here we go. Some of the same topics are showing up. The tied notes, the pedal changes, and bringing out the melody. I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that as my guide, and I'm fitting everything else as support underneath. Next phrase. Now, I don't want to take for granted that I'm just reading these chords so quickly. A way that you can break this down to practice it is by playing only 1 or 2 voices at a time. The soprano, which I've already mentioned, but why not go through here in the third phrase and learn the alto line? Or the tenor line. That's where we have those accidentals, really interesting. Or the bass, or any combination of those two. It's actually a good challenge to only play maybe the middle 2 notes. So we have the lower of the right hand and the upper note of the left. Here it is. That's so good for your ear and your reading skills. And then when you put it together, you do understand the chords more thoroughly. Last phrase is a lot like the beginning. It's It's marked sweetly. At the end, we have a few markings that I want to tell you. Decrescendo, that means getting softer. We have the dynamic marking, pianissimo, that's 2 P's and it means really quiet. And one word here that says morendo, which is dying away. The sound is getting less and less all the way to the very end of the piece. The last chord here is a really great opportunity to practice a drop into the keys, hit the bottom of the keys, but not loud, right? We want this to be very controlled and quiet. The danger is that people think, oh, I've got to play quiet. Let me not play at all, you know, and it's too thin. The sound may not even come out. Practice feeling every finger together, hitting the bottom of the key. Sometimes I have students put a hand under the keys so that you can almost feel like your hands are pulling together. That seems to help with finding that feeling of landing. Okay, so the last couple measures, the last chords, here it is. That's something that the pros can do, that you can do too, if you work towards that polished type of playing. Listening skills are really important. Control of your technique is really important. The result is this beautiful melody, beautiful song by a wonderful woman composer that we are learning about today. I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Amy. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap the notification bell. And be sure to check out the Playground Sessions interactive app. I'll see you soon for the next lesson video.